The Web3 community has a big problem. Hint, it's not the technology. In fact, it's never been the technology. It's our lack of thought leadership. Curiously, this particular go-around is characterized by communities largely focused on pumping their bags and virtue signaling through vast sums of money they often did nothing of material substance to acquire. In other words, the pond is very wide at the moment, but incredibly shallow. It's not that these leaders don't exist. They do. We've just demonstrated a remarkable penchant for providing the largest platforms to some of the lowest common denominators in celebration of their flamboyant behavior and access to endless marketing budgets. After all, it's what we demand, and boy, does it sell. Furthermore, our fascination with the world's largest brands and retailers, woven deep within our modern day pop culture, lends a hand to promoting distraction embodied within all the shiny objects donning new labels indicating NFT for sale. Let us be stewards of history in examining further, as this has happened many times before. Throughout the mid to late 1990s, we can recall a series of pop culture phenomena taking a number of developed countries by storm. Pogs, Genkos, pop music supergroups, Tamagotchis, and Tickle Me Elmos are just a few examples among many. Every generation in modern history seems to observe and even become curiously nostalgic for past trends in which they may have had little to no participation in. However, the rapid progression of technology, as well as the infrastructure consolidation in mass media, have led to a narrowing of our attention spans to static echo chambers that consistently validate our existing thoughts and biases. Even the algorithm becomes the enemy in this respect, as we receive suggestions consistent with our past behaviors. This is a dangerous place to find ourselves, as we lose control in shaping technologies around our culture and rather allow ourselves to be spoon-fed the equivalent of a stale corporate MRE. Media ready to eat. Lie down, GI. Lie down. I will not lie down. Nor should you. We must place an emphasis on building the technological infrastructure of the future around a common emotional elasticity rooted in novel ideation, innovation, and genuine experience. We can get compassionately creative and strike a more equitable distribution of resources for all. This will create efficiencies beyond our wildest dreams. Just imagine when billions of people who are currently paralyzed by a lack of basic resources can express themselves as economic and intellectual peers. We've been waging a war of impetuous resource consumption on almost a third of the planet's population. It's time to start taking personal responsibility for the suffering we perpetuate through our submission to the status quo. In the face of measurable data, complacency is not a reasonable defense. I no longer want to be on the wrong side of history. We've started to keep score. As an artist, I take responsibility for making interactions with these technologies more beautiful over time. As a technologist, I commit to promoting and working towards a more frictionless UX, UI experience. But we, as consumers, must collectively play a role in breaking through social barriers of groupthink encouraged by corporate media funnels that seek to drive you into familiar pastures to feed with the rest of the sheep. Be an individual. Have the courage to forge a new path forward and build consensus around some of the largest problems humanity faces. It only takes one person to come closer to the stage, to show others it's okay to dance. For the moment, Bored Ape & Co. appears to be the Cinderella story of the past 15 months. However, I think you will come to find that they will hold the historical significance of a Tamagotchi face tattoo of which there's no laser treatment available to remove. We will be accountable to our history. Are you telling the story you'd like to be remembered by? My history will be defined by an emphasis on we, not me. That's the choice I have made, and it will be secured as my culture in code. The Radish, affectionately known as the Dish, is a blockchain-powered publication focused on decentralized dissemination of knowledge and information. We are solely reader supported through the listing of each publication on the Ethereum Protocol. Are you curious?